Okay, the triangle of productivity. So I really think this is an important video. I think this is often neglected by a lot of people, and it has such an impact on your productivity, your focus, and at the end up the finished result. But like I said, it's easy to get sidetracked and distracted and away from this, right? Now, before we get into it, there is nothing groundbreaking or new about this, right? This is pretty much everybody knows this. Everyone knows exercise is good. Everyone knows sleep is important. Everyone knows good nutrition is important. But for an entrepreneur who is building a business, who is grinding and really focused or trying to focus, it's also so easy to neglect these things, okay? And they're the building blocks. They really are. Now, as well, I just want to make it clear that I am no pedestal of health. I shouldn't be put on any pedestal. You know, I'm definitely a little bit overweight. I definitely consume a few too many beers. You know, I definitely indulge in a pizza or two every now and again. So I should definitely no way be, put on a pedestal for these three things. However, that said, everything's in moderation with me. I enjoy a beer in moderation. I also enjoy a pizza in moderation. But the majority of the time, I stick to something like this, okay? I go to the gym at least 3 times a week to lift weights, okay? I do it first thing in the morning, 6 a.m. It kickstarts my day, and it really gets me set for the day ahead, okay? I then walk my dog, and, he's a Great Dane Cross, a big lump, and, takes a decent sized walk in the morning. There's my steps. I pretty much box my steps off within going to the gym and then taking the dog for a walk. I take him out later in the day as well, which also adds on to my steps. And then, nutrition wise, I fast in the morning and have my first meal around lunchtime, around 12, 1 o'clock. And that is usually some kind of meat, whether that be steak or whatever, eggs, etc., salads. And then obviously, throughout the day, I'll have maybe a protein shake, some Greek yogurt, and then my evening meal as well. And then usually end up stop eating around 8 p.m. and fast again till 12 p.m. the next day. So let's go through it. I've just broken it down again, like nothing groundbreaking, nothing new. And I also as well, like I've said before, all my own personal opinion and preference. I am not saying that this is the right way of doing things. I am not saying this is the only way of doing things. I am saying this is what I do. I really want to make that clear because, I don't want people to be like, well, you said this and you said that. I said, I do this and I do that, right? And that's what works for me, okay? It might not work for you. I don't know. You might need to find your own way of doing things. All I do throughout this course is share what has worked for me, and that's all I can do. I can't say something that I've never tried and share that because I don't know if it works, right? What I am sharing is stuff that I have proven to work and that I know benefit me and could benefit you, okay? All right, so let's get into it. So I really find this triangle that, the exercise, sleep, and nutrition helps massively with my stress levels, with my productivity and my focus, which all adds up to the end result in what you're trying to achieve, right? If you are more productive, if you are more focused, if you are less stressed, you are going to build something quicker and more efficient, okay? Simple maths. I don't even know if it is maths, but it makes simple sense. All right, so the first thing, sleep. I drink black coffee through the morning because I'm fasting, so I won't eat. So I will drink black coffee and water. I won't have any coffee after 11 a.m. or any kind of caffeine product. I don't drink or have anything else with caffeine in. I don't do pre-workouts or anything like that. So there isn't anything else that I drink with caffeine. But, if I did, I wouldn't have it after 11 a.m. I am quite caffeine sensitive. I probably have 2 to 3 cups of coffee through the morning. I find any more than that, I get a little bit jittery. I've had pre-workouts in the past. The reason why I don't take them is I get really jittery because I'm quite sensitive to them. And then if I was to have something at 2 p.m., 3 p.m., it's probably going to affect my sleep later that night, okay? So I don't have any caffeine after 11 a.m. I aim to get 7 hours sleep per night, okay? So I'm usually getting downstairs I've got an upside down house, so downstairs is where the bedrooms are. I usually go downstairs to bed around 9:30 in the evening, and then we'll usually try and get to sleep for 10, and then wake up 5 a.m., 5:15, and go to the gym and do that whole routine. My nutrition, I fast from 8 p.m. till 12 p.m. Okay, so it's 16 hours. I only drink water and black coffee. Again, nothing groundbreaking, nothing new. Intermittent fasting has been, trending for, I don't know, the last 5-6 years. I think Thomas DeLauer was the first person I saw talking about it, and then Chris Winters was another guy talking about it. So many proven benefits and studies around it. I definitely feel way more productive and focused fasting, and especially when I'm eating good stuff as well. So like having a steak for my lunch, my first meal, having some eggs, etc., having fish. I feel really, really good. I don't really try and do any no carbs or low carbs, but I just enjoy a steak with some fried eggs and asparagus and stuff like that for my lunch. And then, whatever for evening, another steak or some tuna, steak, salmon, whatever it is, some vegetables, salads, etc. So it just works out that I don't really eat too many carbs, but I don't plan to restrict them or anything like that. And then protein shakes, Greek yogurts, some nuts throughout the day as snacks. Okay, I try and stay away from processed and sugary foods. I can massively tell the difference when I have, some chocolate or a pizza or a burger and chips and, the shitty stuff. I can really tell the difference. Like, I don't feel good. I just don't feel very nice. I don't feel very good. And that has an effect on my productivity. I get easily distracted. I don't give it my all. I'm, half-heartedly doing things. I can only tie it to the stuff that I've been eating, because when I'm fasting or when I have good things to eat, I don't feel like that. That's literally the only factor, the only thing, the only denominator that's different. And I prioritize protein and veg. So I prioritize eating meat and fish, and then filling my plate with vegetables and salads to try and fill everything up and satisfy the hunger, and get minerals and the vitamins and everything else. Now, exercise, I aim minimum 10,000 steps a day. I usually end up around 17,000 steps a day. Like I say, I have half dog, half horse, who takes a little bit of walking and enjoys walking and being an absolute numpty. But so that massively helps. I enjoy getting out in the fresh air. It's where I do a lot of my thinking. I discussed this in a previous video. Great for the mind, just to be able to get into an open space, fresh air, nature. It does absolute wonders. Like if you don't go walk, even if you don't have a dog, like just getting outside, and even if you're in the middle of a city, getting to the park, or even just walking around the city. Like I enjoy cities and skylines as well. But yeah, steps is a big one. Just getting moving, getting heart pumping. It doesn't have to be strenuous, just moving, the body actually moving. We are sat in these chairs for a massive part of the day if you are working at a computer. So to be able to get up and move, I think I touched on this with the Garmin watch, huge. I have a Garmin, there's Fitbit, the Oura Ring I think does something now. I don't know what it does, but I hear it does some kind of exercise tracking. I love my Garmin watch. It really tracks everything that I need it to track. But one of the things I really like is it gives me a notice when it senses that I haven't moved for like an hour, or I think it's an hour, and it tells me to move. And that is as simple as getting up, going through there, walking around for a few minutes. 1, I get a break from the computer. 2, I get up and move. The body's moving, the mechanics. If we just sat at a computer for 6 to 8 hours a day without moving, we'd be fucked. So it's really, really important that we do that. I apologize about the French. Yeah. Okay. And then any form of exercise is better than none. So if you ain't a big walker, if you don't want to lift weights, getting into a swimming pool, cycling, hiking, cross trainer, rowing machine, whatever it is, doesn't have to be in a gym, could also be outside. Whatever you can do to just keep that heart healthy, to keep your body mechanics moving, massively beneficial. And like I said, I go to the gym 3 to 4 times a week. I lift weights, nothing crazy. I don't like exert myself. I'm not powerlifting or bodybuilding or anything like that. I'm just keeping healthy. I'm keeping strong. Again, I think I discussed this in previous video. I think there's studies done that weightlifting and muscle is a massive factor to lifespan. I think it's a huge factor. I think there's been a few studies. So it can't be bad to just keep sharp and keep your muscles built. You know, once that muscle deterioration happens, that's when you're not walking. That's when you're not able to move as much, get up out of bed, etc. So it only makes sense that you keep your muscles strong. And that is a triangle of productivity. Like I said, nothing groundbreaking, nothing new, all my personal opinion, all my personal preference, but hopefully there's something here that could be, I'm going to try that. Or, yep, I agree. And it just reminds you. Hopefully there's something here. It's so important. It really is. On to the next one.